S'avance. Caufield tees it up. Scores! He's in. He scores! Oh my! Demona!
Hey now. Can't believe I'm doing this, but welcome to another episode of the Curfew Boys. This will be a depressing one on my part. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Curfew Boys. Let me introduce to my boys. We got GQ Chris in the house.
You know.
We got Fireman Sam in the house.
Ciao tutti.
Fuck you. And I think I should change my name from Anxious Anthony to Emotional Anthony.
Or Depressed Anthony.
Or Depressed Anthony. Or whatever you want to call it. Before we get things started and get into this depressing moment of why I'm depressed, let me thank my sponsors, our sponsors for tonight's episode. We got Mike's Barbecue Rubs in the house.
And you're gonna need a sponsor to check up on you soon if you don't get your shit together.
I'm honestly doing this episode for the love of you guys and the love of the Habs because they won tonight.
So sweet.
And I needed some happiness tonight in my life. But so thank you, Montreal Canadiens. Thank you to the Curfew Boys. Mike's Barbecue Rubs, a Canadian company based out of Montreal, Quebec that sells barbecue rubs, sauces, and kettle-cooked trips. All of their products are proudly made here, packaged in Canada. They can be used on all types of meat, vegetables, and even fish. Their chips are kettle-cooked in Canada, and they're the only company in Canada who is using their own barbecue rub as their seasoning of their chips. Follow them on social media pages such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and all their products are available to purchase on their website at www.mikesbarbecuerub.com, and they also ship all across Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, never forget to rub your meat. Like to thank our other sponsor, who's very Italian, and it just Les Delicieux Lafreniere, some of their best pastries here in Montreal, cakes, cannolis, and our favorite Zeppelis, especially during this time of the year, which is the month of March. Easter this weekend. Hope you stocked up because it's the weekend we destroy those Zeppelis. They have 6 locations, including Rosemere, Rossard, Saint Julie, Montreal West, Point Claire, and of course our hometown, not my hometown anymore. I don't fucking want to talk about anything Italian. Saint Leonard, guys, I'm the worst person to open tonight. But anyways, visit ladelicienelafreniere.com. They are simply delicious. And of course, our other sponsor, Habs Cave Sunil. We love him so much. A man's cave dream for all Habs fans around the world. Follow Habs Cave on Instagram for the best Habs memorabilia content. This guy has it all. Literally, he has everything in that basement, including, toilet paper of Toronto Maple Leafs, the Boston Bruins, and I'm gonna tell him to get the fucking toilet paper of the Italian national team at this point.
I wonder if he has any Team Italy jerseys tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please follow our Habs Cave, La Delicieux Lafreniere, and Mike Barbecue Rubs. And if you like what you hear, please don't judge me on tonight's episode. This is a one-off. But if you like what you hear, please leave us an honest. Please leave us.
Oh God!
Please leave us an honest rating. You can follow us on any social media platform such as Facebook, X, Twitter, TikTok, and if you want to see our beautiful faces, not my face tonight, but please subscribe and like our YouTube channel. All our content will be there. If you want to hear our podcast while driving in the car or on your Walkman. I'm so fucking
Walkman.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You can listen to any
that's
our
real
podcast,
throwback.
Any podcast platform.
Walkman coincides with the last time we saw 50 goals, just gonna say.
Well, the last time Italy made the World Cup, we had a Walkman, I think. So, anyways.
I think so.
Yeah,
That's been the last time. That feels like a last time. It's like those memes. Hey, Dad, what was it like in the 90s? Those memes that's just spreading around with that song from the Google Dolls. Like, that's a Walkman
Iris.
then.
Yeah.
You can listen to us on any podcast platform such as Spotify, Apple Music, and Google. Now, to the followers who are entering this YouTube channel and seeing this fucking depressed guy and swearing every 2 seconds and ruining the opening and the hosting tonight, let me explain why.
In case you haven't noticed.
In case you haven't noticed, I need to speak. I need to let it all out. I'm sorry. It is a sports
Before
podcast. So.
Anthony, hold on a sec. Before any of us talk about the travesty, the one side travesty, look at this. Walkman 1994, Roberto Baggio missed that penalty net.
Okay, why, Roberto? Like, you're supposed to be on my side. You messaged me on Instagram. What are you doing tonight? What are you? Just block him for tonight's episode. I love you, Roberto, but just block him on this episode. Sorry, I'm joking. Guys, I mean, look, I've always said it. Big Habs fan, big Patriots fan, and don't take this the wrong way, but Italy has been a big part of my life since I was a child, and it holds a big piece of my heart more than everybody. And no disrespect to the Montreal Canadiens. And maybe it's because it's the World Cup and it's every 4 years. It's not like the Montreal Canadiens where it's every year. If they don't make it, oh, better luck next year, better luck next year, better luck next year. But when it comes to, European soccer and the World Cup, it sucks when they lose and you got to wait 4 years. And then if nothing happens, it's 4 years. But let's just go back in time where the Italians had so much pride in this sport because we were the most dominant in the whole entire world, and soccer was our pride. And back in 2014, when we didn't make it, 2018, we didn't make the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big shocker to the world. Like, we never saw France or Brazil not make the World Cup. Like, we haven't seen Portugal not make the World Cup. And out of all people, out of all teams, out of all nations, it's Italy that doesn't make it. So whatever, it was a shocker to the world. It happens, whatever. 4 years pass. You think that was just a nightmare. That was a one-off. Boom, it happens twice. So now it's 8 years later. We're freaking out. The Italians don't make it 2 World Cups in a row. Now we're 12 years later, and you're hoping that we're not going to relive this nightmare. And truth be told, I really think this is a bad dream. I'm really thinking I'm going to wake up very soon from my dream and saying, hey, it's not going to happen. But they lost again, and this really, really crushed me, guys. You hear it in my voice. All jokes aside, I know I'm laughing and this and that, but I'm very, very hurt. I'm very depressed, and I'm speaking for all Italians out there. This is a big loss for us. It's an embarrassing loss. Very, very embarrassing. Very disgraceful. I can spend a whole episode talking about this, but I want to focus on our Habs. Let's look at the positive of tonight. Let's go straight into it. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Sorry.
No, it's funny. It's funny how like some of the comments keep coming in, but
and one more thing. Angie Mancini writes Forza Canada. Okay. I'm not following not one game of soccer this fucking World Cup. I'm sorry. I can't digest it. I'm sorry. I can't.
Attaboy. But can you imagine if Italy made it? It would have been Canada versus Italy the first game. That would have been crazy.
All this to say, and I'm gonna end this topic very fast right now. To everybody listening and to everybody watching, yes, Italy is not just soccer for me. It's also the social aspect behind it. Us Italians, we take it really, we make it big when they make it to the Euro or the World Cup. The cafes, the terraces, the being around people, friends and family and the community and just cheering for your team. And we've been missing that for so fucking long. And that hurts the most for me as well. Especially like I booked my Italy trip this year during the World Cup, hoping that I can watch it in piazzas. And now I have to go there and there's that. And
just
another
wear the jersey anyways.
No. And another thing, this year in Canada, and we had a chance to witness, not maybe to many people, it's not history, but to us Canadians, Italian Canadians, it is a historic moment to see Italy versus Canada. It would have been so beautiful to see. And
in Toronto,
the opening of the World Cup, it would have been a beautiful moment for all Italian Canadians. And it it just sucks. It really, really, really sucks. I'm sorry if I've been very depressing this first 10 minutes of this episode. So hope I didn't lose any followers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the real shit here.
Well, here's
yeah.
what I'd like to add to that, Anthony. Like it kind of sucks. And Sid Cesaro, I think that's how you pronounce his name, one of the newest members of the Sick Media and the Sick Podcast, who covers mostly Toronto Maple Leafs and all of Toronto stuff. At one point, maybe I give or take a week or two before Italy's first round robin, whatever matchup against Northern Ireland, he made a thing like, if Italy doesn't win this thing, they're going to be the same type of chokers as the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yep.
And I hate saying this. Now, look, I'm not going to come here and say I'm the biggest soccer fan, not one bit. Like, when Italy won it in 2006, I was more into it. I was working at a soccer store, kind of follow the players, and, listen to colleagues speak about them. You watch highlights with them, blah, blah, blah. I was kind of into it. And, like the Francesco Tottis, the Alessandro Del Pieros, like the Fabio Nestas, the Cannavaros, like Buffon. Those were the legend. Those are going to be the legendary Italian soccer players that are going to be immortal forever, since especially after winning it. So I can't say like I'm the biggest follower and all that, but it is embarrassing when they choke like that. It really, really is. So not to continue on that subject, but I kind of want to tie this into the Canadiens and into the Maple Leafs and all that. But man, I'm sure you all heard the news. Brad Treliving was fired, was relieved of his duties. And the owner of MLSE, did you guys hear what he said?
It was a shocker that no one expected the Montreal and Buffalo to.
Well, so Michael Xhekaj is a very good player.
Michael Xhekaj is a very good prospect. We definitely didn't see the train coming, meaning the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, and how strong those teams are, along with the likes of Detroit and Ottawa. Like, can you imagine being an Italian Toronto Maple Leaf fan? Like, today's got to be the worst day of your life. You know what I mean? Like, I know, Ant, it's probably one of the worst days, but things could be worse, brother. You could be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan with Italian blood in you. This is embarrassing.
Did you not see Hockey Illuminati? Did you not see the guy Hockey Illuminati?
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he posted a video to say I had to see Jays lose a lead. Yeah. Then I saw Canada lose for gold. Then I saw the Leafs drop it and then just turn into a complete disaster. And then Italy doesn't qualify. He's like, when is this nightmare going to end? So that man might be on suicide watch. Not that suicide is a joke, but I'm just saying, somebody give that man a hug. Even though he's a Leafs fan and partially doesn't deserve a hug, somebody there give him a hug. We
got to get him to join. We got to get him to join our side, or like the Canadian side. It's gonna be a tough battle. But look, man, let's go to something a lot more
positive. Tonight was a big night.
Big win
with the help of two other teams losing tonight. So recently we're on a 5-game winning streak. No, 6-game.
This is 6 now, man.
Game winning streak.
This is six. I don't remember the last time they did this.
I don't remember either. But what pissed me off in the last 5 games was that here we are winning and having a beautiful streak, and everybody else behind us winning at the same time. So it's like, what's the freaking point, right? But tonight, winning the 6th game and seeing Detroit and Ottawa lose, that was something nice to see. We're 3 games away from clinching, guys.
Yep. Yeah, I think the magic number we calculated. I'm going to get the stand.
Yeah, get the standings right now. I think it's updated.
Boston won, no.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's okay.
We just got to focus, like me and Sam were saying before, we got to focus on just 3 teams right now, which is Philly, Detroit, and Ottawa. Boston, Columbus, forget it.
So here, let me just refresh it one more time so it's up to date here, but I'm pretty sure it is. So we're on 96. We're 2 points behind Tampa Bay. The same amount of games played. 4 points behind Buffalo. We could have been 2 points behind them had Buffalo not completed that comeback. I think it was against Columbus. They were
Islanders.
down 3-1. It was the Islanders. Yeah, you're right. So listen, 96 points. But what I know is that Ottawa, Detroit, and Philly have 86 points. I'll scroll down. 86 points, 74 games played. All right. That gives them, they have 8 games remaining. So
That's 16 points.
I'll suppose 16 points. The maximum number of points those 3 teams can get is 102. We're at 96. 3 wins away. That gives us 6 points. So we're almost there, guys. We are literally almost there.
2 against Jersey, once against New York. I'm not saying I'm counting those teams out, but they're not exactly in great standing.
Those are the worst games. Those are the hardest games because they have nothing to lose. They're playing for pride right now.
Well, I'm gonna say this much: the Canadiens, and I'm just gonna read out a few numbers, and you guys tell me if you can pick out the trend. Okay, so out of the 6 games, we first started with a 7-3 win against the New York Islanders. Then we went on to beat the Carolina Hurricanes 5-2. Then we went on to play Columbus 2-1. Nashville 4-1, even though Nashville didn't deserve that 1 goal. Carolina again 3-1. And Tampa Bay 4-1. We have kept the top team in the Metropolitan Division to a total of 3 goals in 2 games. We kept Columbus, who's battling for their playoff lives, to 1 goal. We kept Nashville truly to 0 goals, even though they got 1. And we went into Tampa, a team that in recent history we've struggled greatly against, and we took it to them. We literally took it to them in every way, shape, or form. We laid down the law physically. The skill came out. Caufield's inching his way closer to 50. Just, again, dominant on the face-offs. I'm gonna say it this too. Like it has to be said, especially the way that the game kind of wrapped up at the end. Carrier was not in the lineup. I think this team, like, they genuinely stuck up for one another very well today. They didn't look terrible defensively. Arber Xhekaj, who's been out of the lineup, obviously he's not going to play his perfect game. He's going to be maybe a little bit, again, off in terms of his rhythm. Didn't cause any trouble for the team. Don't get me wrong, you had Jakub Dobes to backstop and play a hell of a game once again. But, like, the team is the real deal. And that's why I say, even if those are going to be the toughest games, and the whole point of what I'm trying to get at is we are playing the right way at the right time. Our goalie is on fire. Our scorers are scoring. Our defensemen are being very cautious and calculated with everything that they're doing, and that goes across the board. Their Wolfpack mentality. I mean, you guys, if there's something that I left off that list, please take over.
No, but you said it, and it was a couple of weeks ago where someone said, I forgot who and when and how it was said, but in many words, it's like, Montreal's playing very well against certain teams, but let's see how they play against playoff teams. Let's see how they play against these good, talented teams, and that's where they show the true colors. And guess what? We're showing that. You just said it, Chris, in every way possible. We came in tonight playing against a top of the East team, and we beat them. And not just, we beat them very well. It wasn't just like a last minute, you know what I mean? It's not like those games a few games ago where no shots on net for a period and a half, and then we went in the third period. No, we played a full 60 minutes tonight, played very well. Everybody is stepping up, even with the injuries. Everybody's stepping up. Our goalie's on fire. We are the real deal. You said it. You just concluded everything, Chris. We are the real deal, and we're playing against teams that are in the playoffs with real talent, and we're able to face them.
I just want to add 2 things. So number one, if We beat them with 2 empty net goals. Fine. But Vasilevsky also had a hell of a third period. Like a hell of a third period.
It could have been
stopping
3-1.
Cole.
It could have been 3-4-1 mid third period if it wasn't for him.
Well, that's it. And number 2, and just to again associate a few names. Senators fighting for their playoff lives. We beat them this month alone. We had Boston. We beat them. New York Islanders battling for playoffs, meaningful games. We beat them twice. Carolina, top of the league, of their respective conference, beat them. Columbus, beat them. Tampa, beat them. Like, I don't know anybody who wants to challenge. The only teams that are like iffy, you want to say Nashville? Okay, we lost to Detroit 3-1 on a fluky play in our own end. But like this month alone, how many statement games do we have to beat teams that are either fighting for their lives or dominating in their respective division? It's been outstanding.
Well, I think the Canadiens wanted to go into this matchup knowing, hey, if we're going to face you, Tampa Bay, get ready. Because this is a potential playoff matchup, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, if this is going to be the matchup, if let's say Buffalo, I mean, I'm looking at the schedule on Thursday. Tomorrow being Wednesday, there's no Eastern Conference teams playing. It's only 3 games, and all 3 games are Western Conference teams. Thursday it picks back up. Buffalo's playing the Senators in Ottawa. Pittsburgh against Tampa Bay. The Bruins against the Panthers. The Flyers against the Red Wings, and the Blue Jackets against the Hurricanes. So these are all basically battle of our lives, or of their lives, for that matter. But if this is going to be the matchup that we're going to get, let's say Buffalo takes the Atlantic Division, and we face Tampa Bay. Right now, we're fighting for home ice advantage. That's what it's going to be.
But I think the last game of the season will decide the home ice advantage. It's going to get to that point.
It could come down to that. You know what? It's still so tight, and like Boston is not going away. Boston, they keep sticking it, man. They're still sticking with it, and you know it's still possible that we could have a Montreal Buffalo matchup. It's still possible that actually, if Carolina and Buffalo, they're fighting for top of the East, so maybe we face one of those if Boston surpasses us. Knock on freaking wood. So my point I'm trying to get is that the way the Canadiens played against Carolina, the way the Canadiens played against Tampa Bay tonight, I think they faced them one more time at home. The second last home game of the season, Thursday, April 9th. You know what I mean? Those are going to be statement games by the boys. So they're showing these oppositions that they can keep up with them. The most important thing, both of you guys mentioned goaltending. Jakub Dobes, first star of the week. Look at the difference between the set of wins he was getting almost all season versus this month, or if you want to even push it into February a little bit. Actually, end of February, when we got back from the Olympic break, up until now. I think every game he's won, or even the game he lost against Detroit, a .926 save percentage. The game against Carolina, .953. Columbus, .962. Carolina again, .971. Tonight against Tampa Bay, .973 save percentage. You know how awesome those numbers are? Like, that is playoff goaltending that you freaking need to win. It's not winning games 5-4 or 6-3. It's sometimes it's the 2-1 games, the 3-1 games, maybe the 4-1 games because of 2 empty netters. So
yeah, but Sam,
those away, you win 2-1.
There's 2 games in these 6-game winning streak that we won because of Dobes. Those games that had one shot on net in the first period.
That's my point. Playoff goaltending. What do you think playoff goaltending is? That's exactly my point. Playoff goaltending is the goal that steals the wins. Even in playoffs, there's times you didn't deserve to win, But man, because of that performance, you might win the series.
It could be coincidental, really could, right? But did you guys see the interview with Carey Price when he was asked the question, "What goal in the NHL right now reminds you of you?" And his
When he was on
response to Jacob Fowler,
the podcast with I'm pretty sure it was Jeff Petrie's wife.
and he responded,
yeah.
Jacob Fowler. Since that moment, again, it's just speculation, whatever. Since that moment, I think Dobes just like it lit a fucking cracker in his ass, and he just became this goalie as if like, oh yeah, you're gonna say that? Yes, I'm happy you said that, but I want to prove everybody wrong and say I'm the you know what I mean? Like since that comment, Dobes has been playing elite hockey. And I'm not saying that he wasn't playing prior to that, but since that comment, I think he stepped up this game even more.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, listen, the players see these things. Players see these things. Players hear these things, and you know, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's definitely possible. But right now, I think the most important thing is whether you put Dobes in net or Fowler. How confident are you guys?
100% very good confidence on both levels.
Yeah.
So,
what more can you ask?
Like, what more can you ask for real? And you know what I mean? And look, I'm not opening the can of worms on the Sam Montembeault discussion. I'm not even going there. But if this is going to be what we're about to see next season, we have a potential one of the best goaltender duos in the league starting next year. Maybe I know I'm taking a big step, and it's a big how do I say this? That's a bold statement, because River Pod next year, Jacob Fowler is going to be a rookie, and Jakub Dobes is a rookie now. So technically, he's going to be going his sophomore season-ish next year. Don't want to put all the pressure on them, but it's still possible. It's still possible. And if, defense keeps getting better in front of them with Lane Hudson, that's going to keep progressing. If David Reinbacker's ready to make the jump too as a rookie, I'm just saying, the owner of the Leafs, he's finally onto something. It took him a while to see that train coming, but it's great, man. It's great to see.
Well, I do want to give credit. I don't want to. I don't know if you guys have a look at it, but Steve Dangle did a really good analysis, and a lot of fans are just they're calling it like borderline disastrous interview. Again, maybe we can tie back into that later on in the episode. We can have a laugh at the Leafs, but I thought Steve Dangle's analysis of it was very good, and honestly, I have a lot of respect for the guy. And Steve, like, there's always room for you on the Habs side of things. We've seen you wear that Habs jersey. We've heard you chant "Go Habs, go!" But we'd love to have you on board for the playoffs and call in a few games. Guys, I'm going to draw some attention back to, again, there are a lot of point counters that we're seeing these days. There's a lot that's going on, but as much as the stats have not yet been updated, at least on the Canadiens website, Cole Caufield, on a technicality, even if he doesn't score another point, he finishes as a point per game player this season. 81, with a maximum potential of 81 games played because he missed that one game. Nick Suzuki again climbed up to 92 points, so we're looking at 8 away. Lane Hudson remains at a point per game pace, unless he got 2 tonight, at which point he'd be past that. But again, I just want to go back, and I want to diagnose a few things that actually came about in today's game. So, I mean, if we want to look at some of the times of the players, funny enough, especially with Carrier out of the lineup, I found it particularly interesting. It was the night that both Struble and Xhekaj got to play. I think it was some of the most hockey that they've each respectively played. Struble with 13:48 and Xhekaj with 12:57.
You know when the last time that happened? You know when's the last time both of them played?
Was
together
that against Ottawa in the preseason and or against
No,
Toronto?
it was definitely in January.
Who was out?
It was
Was it when Matheson was out?
Nope. It was
Or
when
Gooley?
it was when Gooley
Gooley
was
was
out.
out.
It was
That was
so
it.
I think the last time the two of them played it with together in the same lineup, I want to say back to January 8th against the Florida Panthers. Struble, Xhekaj. Yeah, because then Cade and Gooley came back the 10th against Detroit, and they ended up losing 4-0. And I remember Fowler was in net. Yeah. So the last time I think both of them, besides last game, but Xhekaj was a 4. But the last time both Xhekaj and Struble played a game where they were both on defense, I think was dating back to January 8th. That's a long time ago.
So the point that I want to get to is these guys played enough time to potentially make mistakes. And again, one goal went in. Matheson and Dobson were on the ice. Dobson got hooked like crazy from behind the net as he was coming around. But the whole point is that both of these guys played all right. Now, what I'm trying to go into and what I'd like to have the conversation about is physicality. Out of all concerns that I have for the Montreal Canadiens going into the playoffs, it's physicality. The game that they played today, and I know that we always have this recency bias and that it just finished happening and it's fresh in mind, but this was arguably one of the best games that this team has played. It was without Carrier, who arguably is one of our least physical defensemen on the whole team. I don't know about you guys. We also had Josh Anderson in the lineup. So you had Arber, you had Struble, you had Josh Anderson, you had Joe Veleno, you had a bunch of guys, and I'm not saying Joe Veleno was lethal, but I'm just saying you have guys who are harder checking and more aggressive. And I thought they looked like they kept up with Tampa. And by the way, unless the statistics have updated, Tampa, just as an FYI, is the team that has the most fighting major penalties in the whole league.
Really?
They're not. They are.
There were a bunch of babies tonight, though, huh? Or is it just me?
Well, but that's the whole reason as to why I want to talk about this subject. It is the point of concern with the Montreal Canadiens that they're not physical enough. And now when they had a significant number of physical elements within their lineup, I thought they played really well. I hated the fact that Nick Suzuki got absolutely bowled over by Chernak at the blue line.
That. Yeah.
But with these guys in the lineup, I'm gonna say it without a second's hesitation. Jake Evans taking a run at Kucherov. I want to go buy a Jake Evans jersey suddenly.
Yeah, but that was a hit from behind.
I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying
he didn't do it on purpose.
It's about, but you know what?
He didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, but Chernak lines up Nick Suzuki. I like the fact that the boys took it into their hands to say, okay, you want to go after our players?
Yeah.
We're going to go after your best player. Message sent, and as soon as it started to get out of hand, guess what? Arber ties up Sabourin. They go down to the ice. Get the hell out of there. Every single one of the guys took care of business, and I stand by this. It feels as though the guys play 2, 3, 4 inches taller as soon as these guys are in the lineup. And that is the greatest concern that I have going into this playoffs.
Yeah, I was paying close attention to Arber's game tonight, and you guys know I love him. Chris, I probably love him more than you. Like, I really
I'll
really
debate
do.
you on that the rest of the night. But okay.
I've been watching this kid since junior, and I love what he does. I love what he brings, but there's times where I truly think he shoots himself in the foot, and that's the difference. I'm happy he's back in the lineup. I'm extremely happy he's in the lineup. I didn't think he did too bad, but there was 2 plays where I was like, this is the reasons why sometimes I find like he focuses too much on the hitting. And and this is coming from me who loves the hitting in hockey. But there's a few times where he was so focused on the hitting that the puck was just there and he could have picked it up, but he was focused too much on the player and getting a check in there. And I get it. When you're in and out of the lineup, As a player, you probably overthink too much. Like, yeah, keep my game simple, but it's like I want to be physical. I want to show like you want to show what you're still capable of doing, right? I think, man, the physicality will always be there, but I just think there's times where it's like, man, don't worry about the hitting so much. Worry
Don't-
about the puck.
I
Protect the puck. Get the puck. Just a simple a good first pass. That's all he has to do. He has the best attitude on this team. 1,000%. He's a kid that no matter what, he'll always be humble and he'll always be grateful for having this opportunity to be in the NHL, especially the story of never being drafted. He does deserve to be on this team, and just because the positive attitude alone. But at some point, man, like mistakes like he makes sometimes, not all the time. Everybody makes mistakes. Unfortunately, he is a little bit more under the microscope, and it's not because I want him to make mistakes. I want this kid to stay in the lineup as long as possible. He's got to simplify his game a bit more.
So
just a bit more.
Okay. I'm not here to shit on Xhekaj because I love the guy too. And I think I hope he stays a Hab for life. Okay. But I don't take this the wrong way, and I'm really hoping I'm wrong in what I'm about to say. But I think this is gonna be a potential situation where the pressure, being under the microscope too much, is gonna affect his game.
I hope
and
not,
might
man.
be a better player in another team. I hope I'm wrong, but it's starting to that pattern is looking.
Why are you saying that?
I'm not saying this is what I want. What I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say is that this is what it's looking like. Where the healthy scratch back in, healthy scratch. I think he's playing too much in his head because of that pressure. Because he's worried about making a mistake. Because he thinks this is the game that he's supposed to play, but the coach is telling him one thing and someone else telling him another thing. I think he's just in his head too much. And again, he's still young, but it might be too late in the sense that I think a new environment, a new team, less pressure, he might be the player that we all hope that he is. I'm hoping that changes with maturity and experience. But right now, the path that I'm noticing and feeling is he might be something a player to be traded in another team to get some value for us and give that team value, and he changes his ways.
Let's be honest here. Like I don't even want to think about. First of all, he's going to be an RFA, so we're going to have to see if he gets qualified and if the Canadiens re-sign him. But out of the two, I think the one that has I don't know, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if Struble has a bit more value. I'm just saying right now, it's hard for me as an Arber Xhekaj lover, a guy that I love Arber, but it's hard for me to not admit that Jayden Struble right now, it's hard for me to say Jayden Struble has to come out of the lineup because he doesn't deserve to come out of the lineup. Struble has not been playing bad lately.
No, he can't.
He
can't
hasn't.
come out of the
lineup. Let's call a spade here. Like Struble hasn't been terrible. He hasn't. He hasn't. You know. This is something very true. I think the Brass learned from the Wilson hit on Carrier. Wi-Fi 2 Prots. Owen Prots, man. The Canadiens signed him. Part of me thinks, but again, though, it's another left-handed defenseman. I mentioned this in the group chat, and I'm going to say to everybody listening and watching, man, this is the one time I wish either Struble or Xhekaj were right-handed defensemen. Oh my God, we would never be having this discussion, but here we are. And maybe we're not sending Arber to the West Coast. He's not going to Alberta. No, he's not going anywhere. He's staying here. He's staying put. What was I about to say? I lost my train of thought. But no, okay. But like with Carrier out 2 to 4 weeks, and I think Carrier is going to be out for the entire first round at least. And then the Canadiens called up Adam Engstrom. You kind of want that extra defenseman, especially being on the road. And it wasn't an emergency call-up. It was a regular call-up, so the Canadiens now have 3 call-ups remaining. You have a total of 5 after the whatchamacallit, the trade deadline. They used 1 for Fowler. Now they used 1 for Engstrom. I think they're going to keep 1 for Reinbacher once they officially clinch, but we'll see. I don't know. I think that this is an opportunity for Arber to really step in, and like I said, you keep things simple. Continue laying the body, continue being physical, but if you have a chance to play the puck first, play the damn puck first, and get the puck out of the zone. That's it. That's all. That's it. Clear the net, and that's it. That's all.
Well, I
That's all he's
think
got to do.
to jump in on that, like look at him and look at it closely. You can see that there's certain confusion as to where he has to be, and sometimes you'll literally see him trade off in terms of where his focus is. Like he'll be with a guy, you said, yeah, he's too focused on the hit. I'm not in disagreement with that. What I'm saying is that sometimes he'll be following the puck, he'll be tracking it, and then he just randomly turns and goes like, "Oh shit, I got to shift off. I got to go man on man coverage to that guy." And I'm just saying, in terms of the whole coaching strategy, you can literally see it from your seat on the couch, saying, "Okay, Arber is processing the game. He's not necessarily in that rhythm, or he hasn't necessarily mastered the strategy, if you will." But at the end of the day, again, we could put the whole strategy, coaching, man-on-man coverage, zone coverage, whatever. We can put the whole strategy aside. I'm not going to pretend to be a professional hockey coach. What I'm very interested to see is if this is going to be the way that the season is going to be wrapping up, and particularly if we're going to look at the last few games of the season where they're going to be playing Philly, where they're going to be playing, let me just open up the schedule, the last 3 games particularly. The internet could go any slower, that would help. But in April, it's New York Islanders who might be battling for their lives. Philly, unlikely still going to be battling, but still, you never know. And Columbus is likely still going to be battling for home ice advantage. And then the game before that is Tampa Bay again. Like the last 4 games of the season are going to be some of the most physical games. I'm just curious. I'm dropping it as like a little.
Oh, I don't think he's
end
coming
note
out of the lineup. Especially with Caddy
I'm
out,
not
I
saying
don't think he's coming out. I really
it's
don't
not
think
a
he is.
question about him coming. It's not a question of him coming out of the lineup. I'm really curious to see whether or not the Canadiens are going to be able to tap into a more. They're not going to reinvent their game at game number 78, but I'm very curious to see how the Canadiens are going to do in terms of physicality with teams who are going to be hyper aggressive, going to be hard checking, going to be prepping for the playoffs, and obviously have the physical stature across the board to play a rough game. The game before Tampa, the Florida Panthers. If the Florida Panthers want to get out of hand, they can get out of hand. So I'm just very curious. Not only do I see this as an opportunity, I'm just very curious to see how the Habs are going to showcase their management of hard-nosed physicality before the big show starts. And I think there's no better opportunity.
Well, I think by the time the Canadiens face Florida, I guess in a week. It's literally in a week from tonight. If the Canadiens clinch by then, I mean, look, Florida's they wrapped up their season. Most of their guys that caused trouble, your Marchands, maybe your Sam Bennett's too. They're not going to play. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I don't think. I don't know. I get your concern. I'm not too worried about the Florida Panthers right now. Earlier, Chris, I just want to make a point. Tonight's game for Arber, his man coverage was actually great. His man coverage wasn't the problem.
You can see him shift. You can see him shift.
It's okay. He had what he was covering one guy, and when he wasn't, he was standing right in front of the crease and protecting that area, which is what you're supposed to do. His zone coverage wasn't the issue tonight, at least in my what I saw by looking at it.
It
wasn't.
That, just to be clear.
No, I know. It's to me it's not that's the issue. It's what he does with the puck when he's got it. That's the only thing. And those are the things that most times, if you look at the mistakes that he's made that cause him to get out of the lineup, it's because of turnovers. Either turnovers or just bad puck management. That's all. If he fixes that, then I get it. We're late in the season. Now's not the time to fix things, but it doesn't matter. It's one game at a time. Yeah, that's all he has to do. When I say simplify, when he gets the puck on his stick, you find your winger or your centerman, that one good pass, boom. That's it. That's all he has to do. That's all he has to worry about.
You can see it in 3 plays, 3 separate plays. I wish I had the timestamps, but I literally noted it down. There's one, he has the puck. It either doesn't come off his stick quickly enough, then he proceeded to make a couple of passes that were way too hard. Like it was a miracle that Demidov caught one of them, just because I think of natural ability.
It's just Demidov's skill, yeah.
And then the next time out, he goes to make a pass and it ends up trailing behind Goulet because it's not hard enough. And that is like a clear lack of repetition. Slow speed getting it off. Yeah. Then you pass it too hard. Then you pass it too slow. Poor kid.
Yeah. No, it's not easy. It's not easy for him to get in the rhythm of things. I totally agree with that, and I empathize with that absolutely. But it starts with your first shift. That's all it's got to do. It starts with your first shift, and then you build from there. So we'll see. But I don't think I can't really see him come out of the lineup all that much now that unfortunately Carrier is going to miss 2 to 4 weeks. So we'll see. I think once the Canadiens clinch, I think you're going to see maybe Mike Matheson takes a rest. I was going to say Carrier, but unfortunately he's out. Maybe a Noah Dobson, but there's a lack of right-handed shooters now. Like he's the only one that shoots right to really think about it. So we'll see. One player, though, I really got to talk about, though, is Juraj Slafkovsky tonight. Talk about beast mode.
Another train.
Like
train, the Slav train.
And happy birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Juraj Slafkovsky. Turned 22.
22.
Gets a goal, which was he fanned on the shot, apparently. It still went in like a bullet. And then that play to Caufield. Oh, man. Like, what's the ceiling for this kid, Anthony?
For this season or in general?
No, for this kid. What's his ceiling?
Sorry, I'm still in
I saw the unmute on the mic there for a second. You need to take a minute?
The horse.
Guys, I'm so fucking sorry. I have to bring it back up. I'm still in a really bad zone in my head with this whole Italy thing, but I'll get over it. I'll get over it, boys and girls. I will, I promise. Cole Caufield, what's his ceiling? I mean, if he hits 50 this year, guys, if he hits 50, he's going to have no choice but to continue that train. He has to be a 50-goal scorer year over year. We can't see him drop. And I don't think I see that happening.
Okay, well, can I just make a quick correction?
Wait, hold on. You think that he hits 50 this year and he has a chance of not hitting under next year?
Well, I was asking about Slafkovsky, but since you're on the subject of Caufield, Anthony, I think he's going to hit 50, and I can't believe the thought that I'm actually going to see a 50-goal scorer playing for the Montreal Canadiens.
I want to see 52 though, because the last person was 51.
52.
Dude, he has to beat Stefan Richer at 51.
Oh, dude, the thing is that it's still possible.
It's 100%. He's 3 goals away from 50.
And he's 5 goals away of beating it?
Well, if he's at 47 tonight, after tonight, right?
Oh my God.
Anthony, 47 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 games left. You're telling me that Cole Caufield
can't score 5 and 8? He's got 27 goals in 27 games. You think the streak keeps going? Oh man.
Give him another 2-goal game this week. Saturday night against Jersey.
What?
Mr. Saturday night?
Dude, can you imagine he beats? Okay, hold on a sec. There's how many? When's the game against Jersey? On
Saturday,
Saturday,
and
Sunday. Saturday and
Sunday
Sunday.
at home, 50 goals at home.
So, no. Sunday at home beats Stéphane Richet's record.
51.
Against his best friend, Jack Hughes, who won the gold medal. And Stéphane Richet is also a former New Jersey Devils player. Like, talk about the hockey gods lining it up for him. And if it happens, we need to. Dude,
so the last,
he could score 5 goals in 3 goals. 5 goals in 3 games. Sorry.
3 games. By the end of the third game, he would have to pot 5. Scheiße. Not easy.
He can give Jack the puck. What's McKinnon at?
Last time he hit 51 goals in 75 games was in 89-90 season.
And then I think he hit 50 in 91, in the 1990-1991 season. Because I think he hit 50 twice. Somebody fact check that.
Before Cole Caufield, recent 40-goal season was Danfous.
Yeah.
1994.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The closest player to 50 goals since Richet was Brian Bellows in 93. So, no, the last 50-goal score was in 89-90, which was 51 of Stéphane Richet, nothing after that.
Oh, I was certain that he had another 50-goal. Yeah, but yeah, so I was half right. In 1987-88, Stéphane Richet scored 50.
But then last time was 50.
And then in 89-90, he scored 51. Okay, yeah, so
that's the record.
I was off by a season. Okay, so 51 is the record. Wow. Okay. Man, and what's McKinnon at? Is McKinnon still at 49? I'm pretty sure he is. Caufield is 2 behind him. Yeah, McKinnon's still at 49. Oh my God. They did NHL didn't update. NHL didn't update.
Okay, so question for you. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I'll admit it. I was zoned out before because I'm still in my Italy zone. So back to Slav. What's his ceiling? Look, don't want to say this out loud yet, but Slav has become since the beginning. He's been a player that I know will be one of my favorites. And I've always said it. I've always had belief in the guy when everybody was shitting on him at the beginning, the first season, the first 2. And I've always said it, like, go back, all of you fans out there, go back to our old episodes. The moment Slav becomes a consistent player that uses his body, this guy's going to be a fucking beast. And he's been proving that this season, the consistency this season, the physical aspect of him that's making him score and put up all these points is because he's using his body. That was the one unique thing about this player, is that he has talent and size. And you use that size, you will become the beast that you are. And this season, finally, because we've seen it in little moments in year 2, when he started the second half of the season and he was amazing, and we all said, okay, this is the stuff we want. Then the year 3, he dropped again, and then he, second half of the season, he wakes up. This season, he's been just consistent from A to Z, and I hope he continues that. And if he does continue that, guys, he is the number 1 overall draft pick, the right one, the best one, and he's going to be that player. And what's his ceiling? He's 1 point away of hitting 30 goals, career high.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 30-goal scorer.
You said the right one. Was that supposed to be a Shane Wright joke?
With a W.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, that was it.
Shane who?
Anthony. Anthony, to add to that, I'm just curious to know your take. At his peak, is Juraj Slafkovsky more important to the team? And forget the assistant or captain or whatever, but in his prime, is Juraj Slafkovsky more important than Nick Suzuki or Cole Caufield? Does he bring more? I'm not talking points, and I'm not talking captaincy and leadership. I am just saying, in terms of carrying the play and having an influence on the ice or the game itself,
I got an answer for
Do
you.
you think Slav could be more important than Nick Suzuki or Cole Caulfield?
My answer is yes because of the physical side of his game.
Okay.
Because the
Yes.
physical
Yes.
side of the game opens up the play and puts in those points.
Okay. But most importantly, he's got to do that in the playoffs, not just the regular season.
Oh, we're not there yet. This season,
I understand.
That's what I said before. He has to continue this.
But for him to be more important than Suzuki and Caufield, Slav has to do that in the playoffs.
100%.
He's got to be able to do that in the playoffs, because it's fine and dandy. You do that in the regular season. If you can't do that in the playoffs,
but then again,
I'm saying that's not going to happen. I'm just it's more to answer quiz. Yeah.
But then again, guys,
more to answer Chris's question. Yeah, tongue twister. Say that 5 times as fast as you can.
I want to say something though, okay? And I like your question, Chris. But the way this team is being built and how I envision it, and I'm sure management is also, and all of us as well, compare this team to other teams, okay? Compare this team to other Stanley Cup championships in the past, where you have good teams, good depth teams that brought them to the Stanley Cup, but it's always like there's 2 or 3 individuals that are the spotlights, right? Like, let's go back to Pittsburgh when they were in the dynasty. It was just Letang, Malkin, and Crosby. Everybody else were just fillers. Let's go to
Chicago had Taves and Kane, but man, when you have Hossa, Sharp,
Seabrook.
Yes, but that was the last team we've seen as a team as a whole that were top elite players. Everybody else was those 2-3 tops with fillers. Montreal is being built of that kind of style team where everybody's important. Every line is important. I don't remember seeing someone can fact check this, please. Look at the Montreal Canadiens stats. Okay. Who else in this league has this many players in their own team that has over 30 goals and over 50 points? I don't think there's many.
I think you're talking about the Colorado Avalanche type, McKinnon, Makar.
Okay, well, let's compare.
Why am I forgetting his name?
Let's compare.
Big body. No.
Well, Rantanen is no longer there, but
no, it's not.
From Colorado,
he's up there in terms of goals.
Okay,
and I just close it.
Kadri is new, so let's scratch him out because he's 50 points, but he's new, right? He just came back to the team, so he made his points with Calgary prior to this. So right now, there's only 4 players over 50 points and 3 players over 30 goals.
In Colorado?
Okay? In Colorado.
Yeah.
3 30-goal scorers. Again, there's 4 because it's Kadri, but I'm not including him because most of those.
Yeah, he came at the deadline. Right,
so
right.
In Colorado, there's only McKinnon, Nekes, and Makar that have over
Nietzsche's. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Over 50 points. Over 50 points. Sorry, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Over holy shit. No, there's only 2 30-goal scorers. Nietzsche's and McKinnon. Makar's at 20 goals. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's only 2 30-goal scorers and 4 over 50, okay? Points. Now let's go to the Montreal Canadiens. You have, hold on. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, potentially 6, 7. Oh yeah, hold on a second. Let me rephrase it. Let me re-filter this. Perfect. You have Demidov over 50 points, Slav over 50, Lane over 50, Cole over 50, Suzuki over 50. Now let's go to goals. Right now it's only Cole. Okay, we only have 1 over 30 goals. But just to say, I fucked up on that stat. But just to say you have 5 players over 50 points. This is and this is just the beginning at a rebuild stage. All these guys, when they hit their peak, we're a dominant team. So to answer your question, sorry, I completely lost everybody. I'm sorry if I confused everybody. To answer your question, is he important? Is he going to be the most important player in your team? I don't want to say it that way because I think every individual in this team brings a big aspect to this team to get these stats.
There's only one other team. Sorry, Chris. There's only one other team that competes against them. You also got to throw in
Jersey.
You also got to throw in the Edmonton Oilers with McDavid and Draisaitl alone. Evan Bouchard is racking up the points, but then after that, it's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at 52 points. If Ivan Demidov was on the Edmonton Oilers team, he'd be the fourth best player on the Edmonton Oilers right now. So that just goes to show where Ivan Demidov's progression. It's he could have been on any other team and he would still be up there in points. Like he could be with I looked real quick through Carolina and Buffalo's. Like he'd still be fourth in points with 57, while other guys are at 68 and then 71. Like the only other teams where it's just the Edmonton Oilers because again the two best players in the world. The one thing we got to remember all about this, guys, everybody listening, this is the youngest team in the league that's putting up these numbers. The youngest team in the NHL. If they're not the youngest team in the NHL anymore because of Philippe Danault, whoever they got or whatever, they're still one of the youngest teams in the league, if not the youngest team in the league, and they're putting up those numbers.
Yeah. The big thing.
Suzuki's in his prime. Caufield's about to reach his prime. Slaf and Demidov haven't even reached their prime yet, let alone Lane Hudson, let alone Jakub Dobes, and let alone Jacob Fowler.
Well, I think it's been a consensus that all around Demidov is probably the guy with the highest ceiling, at least offensively, and what he can become. I don't know if you guys heard Dan Milstein, who was the agent of Pavel Datsyuk, of Kucherov, and Demidov. He said if you put, he said those three guys, you put them in the room, they are some of the best hockey minds in the game. Like he compared Demidov already to Kucherov and Pavel Datsyuk, who he personally had the privilege of managing. But the big thing, Anthony, that you're talking about, and I'm happy that you responded in that way. I'm not saying Buffalo is going to be a flash in the pan here and then gone. You know, like we heard MLSE ownership talking about, the surprise Buffalo. Yeah, I think Buffalo was a surprise, especially the way that they started. But the big reason as to why I am so confident that this team is going to win not one, but multiple championships over the next decade, we are not only built young, we're built for longevity just with the contracts alone. Whether you take Anaheim, whether you take San Jose, whether you take all these other teams which are up and coming with these stars, they have yet to take their hometown discounts to want to compete for the long term. And that's why the Montreal Canadiens, again, we have the privilege of continuing this growth and this full-fledged rebuild. And then I really think we're going to tap into a dynasty mode over here. I think it's going to get to dynasty portion because we are built for that longevity. We are built with players who are not going to be overwhelmed. I'm sorry to say, but Brendan Gallagher's, we don't have guys who play that style of hockey. Like physically, they shouldn't be as worn down. They're very smart with the way that they take hits. Again, they're just in it for the long haul. So again, why I think the key word in all of this is longevity of the plan and the ability for them to continue competing together is going to outdo the chemistry of other teams. It's going to outdo their chances at going to get other free agents. It's just like, and again, I heard another thing too. I'm going to add another layer to it. Some people are saying, Why not this year? Why can't they win it? People are talking badly and saying the Montreal Canadiens can't win it. No, we're not saying that
I
they
know where
can't
you're
win
getting
it.
that.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm getting it from.
I know
But
where
like,
you're getting.
it's not that they can't win it. I just want to come at this as an objective fan who doesn't have any access or privileged information. And I'm saying, yeah, they can surprise, but it would be a surprise. We are not at the point of it being expected for them to go all the way to the finals. If the Montreal Canadiens just so happen to go to the finals and they're playing against the Colorado Avalanche, who are you betting on today? Logically speaking. And that's why I say I don't think the Montreal Canadiens win the Stanley Cup. Can they surprise? Yes. Will they surprise with that longevity? No, because it won't be a surprise. It's going to be rightfully earned.
It'll be,
and not only that, Chris, and not only
theirs,
that, Chris,
exactly.
and not only that, guys, you guys are forgetting who we have managing this team. Okay, an ex-agent who is playing our money and contracts perfectly right. We're building this team and these high goal scorers with minimal salaries, right? A team like this with experienced players have salaries that are capped out. Look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. You got to start getting rid of these players. You got to make room for other players to build the depth. You know what I mean? Montreal's building this team with a bunch of rookies hitting these stats and getting paid the bare minimum. So that means the longevity that you're talking about, Chris.
That's the bare minimum. I want the bare minimum for my contract at work. But sorry to interrupt.
But just to say, Chris, the longevity that you're talking about, it's going to be a couple of years before we have to give Demidov that big contract and all these guys. They're
going to sign him at the end of the year. And I think Demidov is going to have the biggest contract on this team, and maybe at I could see him getting at 9-10 million max.
I get it, but I'm just saying we are doing it so perfectly well that we'll have space to keep these guys and add some people in that can make this team perfect. Whereas, look at the Toronto Maple Leafs; they just focused on the Fab Five and didn't build around because they couldn't afford to.
This is total salary that we have right now on Puckpedia. So Slav is making a total of $10 million this year. Cole 9.975. Under $10 million for a potential 50-goal scorer, and under $9 million for a potential 100-point player, 30-goal scorer. That's the total salary. But if I go here, cap hit, boom, that changes everything. Suzuki, 7.875. Cole, 8.85. Slav, 7.6. Here, I'm going to scroll down to Lane Hudson. His contract starts next year at 8.85. Even if you get Demidov at 10 million, you still have the room. Or you know what? Or I might go ahead and say this. I think Demidov's going to have the same type of contract, except you're going to pay the kid so much money now, 10, 11 millions for the next 3 years, and then it drops down where it averages out to 8.85 on the cap. If Kent Hughes does that again, you build a statue for this fucking guy.
Go back to the Puckpedia. And if you really, I understand that it doesn't take everything into consideration, but go back to load the page and go up to the top where it says summary. And just to the right of summary, you have cap projections. Have a look at the 2027-2028 cap projections for the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah,
even though there are players who have yet to get signed, so we're not factoring in an Ivan Demidov contract or anything, $54 million to play with. $54 million
projected
2027, 2028.
Yeah, because you have your Brendan Gallagher's contract that comes to an end. Your Josh Anderson, your Philip Danault. I think your Alexandre Carrier. I think I want to say Texier if he has one more year left. Your Sam Montembeault contract comes to an end. Your Jakub Dobes comes to an end, but it's going to get filled not rather quickly, but it won't be that by the time
I
by
think
the
you're
time
looking at $34 million is probably going to just disappear in new contracts. There's going to be probably Dobes to resign. There's going to be Demidov. There's going to be
don't forget
Hage.
by then he's going to be on his entry level contract.
Entry level.
And I think that year too, you sign if they decide to keep Zborowski, who by the way is getting a lot of praise and is entering his playoff series right now. But it's crazy just to sort of wrap it up, man. But like, this still isn't the final piece of the puzzle yet. Or it's not the final picture, excuse me. This ain't the final picture. And they're doing what they're doing. This is insane. This is absolutely insane, guys.
We call this episode longevity. This is exactly what Chris said. We're doing what we're doing now at this level when it's just at the beginning of this rebuild. Wait when everybody's at their peak and wait when we get to that point. That's why I keep saying dynasty.
So I'd like to make my peace with this is that going back and having maybe one last shot at Toronto, they are number one. They're probably not going to be competitive for the next 6-7 years unless they everything falls right into their lap. 6-7 years, we're going to get to laugh at the Toronto Maple Leafs. As AI starts to come more and more into effect, it's our job as a fan base to try to make as many train memes with the Montreal Canadiens coming and storming through Toronto. So that's another thing too. But I mean, if you're not seeing the writing on the wall, and that's why I found it absolutely humiliating for the Leafs and their respective organization to have Keith, I forgot his second name, but Keith, the owner of MLSE, or CEO of MLSE.
Keith Pelly.
Pelly, there you go. But Keith Pelly to come in and say oh, we didn't see this coming. Listen, your rival team, unless you're talking about the Ottawa Senators, as the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's your obligation to know what the heck is going on in Montreal, your longest standing rival. Everybody around the league has already started taking note of how fun the Montreal Canadiens have been to watch and how entertaining they are offensively. But if you haven't already gotten onto the bandwagon at this point in time, again, there's room for many more. Toronto will add an extra car for you guys to come and join. But look at the cap situation, look at the contracts, the long-term contracts, the space that we're going to have. Look at the style of players that we have. Look at the chemistry that we will not have to start to divide up and separate. That is just going to continue to grow. Again, the other teams which are in really good positions as it stands in terms of talent, San Jose, Anaheim, and even partially Detroit, those are the three closest, I would argue, and none of them have secured any bit of that longevity. They might compete with Montreal for a couple of years, and don't get me wrong, Macklin Celebrini, a generational talent, is going to have a big part to play in making sure that they're.
Man, wow,
that's it. But there's nobody that's going to be as competitive, I think, for the next decade as the Montreal Canadiens. Book it, lock it, sign it, come back and laugh at me if I'm completely wrong, but I'm pretty confident, and I think we're all pretty confident as a group that they're going to be the team to watch for the next decade. And it's our job also to savor Toronto sucking for that time. And in that time too, welcome as many Toronto fans, convert as many as possible to the word of the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, there you go. You heard the man.
Longevity.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in this somewhat start off depressing episode to a nice good ending about the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry for my mood, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna take a while for me to get over this, but now that we have the Montreal Canadiens playing well and doing well,
folks, send Anthony a gift or something. Send him something. Send him some love. Send him some DMs. Send him some pictures of I don't know what that can make. Send him some puppies or dogs or whatever.
If anybody can use AI to build a time machine to bring me back till this morning and restart this game and hopefully make them win, then yeah, Do that.
Bastoni.
Fucking Bastoni. Fuck you.
Red
Ladies and
card.
gentlemen, thanks for joining in. To all our sponsors tonight, Delicie Lafrene, Mike's Barbecue Rubs, and Habs Cave Sunil. Guys, give them a follow. All their information is on our social media pages. Their tags are on our Instagram page. So please give them a follow. Show them love and support. They love and support us. We love and support them. Show them the same love. They're great people and great products and great food. So give them a follow. If you like what you hear, guys, give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and X. If you want to see our beautiful faces, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube as well. You can listen to our podcast on any platform, such as Google Podcasts, Apple, Google, any podcast platform that you guys like to listen to. Please give us an honest rating. We want to hear what you love about us. Only way to make us better and give you guys better content. Until next time, 3 wins away from clinching, maybe less if the other teams lose. But until then, happy Easter to everybody out there. Happy Passover.
Oh, yeah.
To the others.
Yes.
Whoever's following Passover, whoever's following Easter, I wish you all the best. Enjoy family time.
Anthony, in 4 years. Well, they'll be back in 4 years, Anthony.
Shut up. Shut up.
Until next time.
Buona Pasqua. Until next time.
Bye now.
Good night.